Well, thank you, Ms. Scott, for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Let's go back in time. So, especially for Fire and Ash, what was the process for you when you first designed the costumes? Because you want everything authentic, but it's also multicultural, and it's also a fantasy world that hasn't existed yet. So what was your process of making real costumes for the actors that inhabit?
Well, it really starts with a lot of research. I mean, first we read the script, of course. So the script is kind of the roadmap, right? And then I really deep dive into the characters and what their journeys are in each of the films successively. You know, how much time has gone by, what their emotional state might be, because I do believe that costumes really are the best visual narrative for explaining a character. So, and then we do a tremendous amount of research about anything, everything. I mean, it can't be, you know, like for the wind traders, I was looking at photography of, if you're really high up looking at the earth, which is where I kind of got the swirly patterns, you know, or conversely, if you're looking at the clouds. So anything from looking at I'm getting off topic a little bit, but looking at a microscopic leaf, perhaps, for shapes. But we world build, and then it's really about understanding each clan and kind of making up what your rules might be, right? And that really is a lot dependent on their environment.
And also your characters go through, especially in Fire and Ash, a journey of, you know, light to dark, dark to light. Everything. So did you have to evolve the costumes of the movie showing their descent or rise?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You pay attention to that very closely, because you know it's kind of tricky on the Avatar films because it is a bit of a fantasy, but it's so based in our humanity, and that's the idea. Like you're supposed to look past. For me, I look past the fact that they're 9-foot tall blue people. Because they're so human.
Now the actors must have really embraced your costumes, because this is a fantasy world. Did really, you think, help the actors ground themselves in the character, because they needed something real and tangible to feel?
Yeah, absolutely. And we use a lot of different ways in there. You know, sometimes we don't necessarily. Once in a while, they get to try on a completed piece. Usually, they have a stage piece that sort of indicates motion. But for instance, when the kids first started, what do they know about wearing a loincloth? So, you know, we did a couple of days of really intensive putting costumes on them and then letting them run around and jump around, and just sort of so that way when they get back on stage in their performance capture suits, they have some, you know, they feel it. They know it's there. So.
One thing I love about Cameron is he uses special effects, obviously, but his first instinct is to try to do as much in the practical world. So what's the collaboration, knowing that you have your director who wants the practical stuff, costumes, but working with the visual effects team to enhance it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very much for costumes, a very much a two-step process. And one of the main reasons we make all the costumes, and there's a million reasons, but the main reason is that then the visual team, the virtual world team, has something to ascribe to.
Right.
So they got to look at that and say, I got to make that as good as it is. Right, so, and then they do all their trickery, and then luckily for me, I get to stay on the process and work with them as well. So I make the costumes once, and I make the costumes again. So it's quite the journey.